Today we have an anthology horror movie called Tales from the Darkside, the movie. Based on the horror anthology series, low budget, produced by George A. Romero, never heard of him. And this is the film based on that series, released May 4th, 1990. So again, anniversary week, I guess we'll have to do this and see what's so good about this. Here we have a 1990 horror comedy directed by John Harrison, who's worked on other TV and films like the Tales from the Darkside TV show. Yay! Creepshow's 2019 series. Oh, another horror anthology type series. Dinosaur. They can't all be winners. And composed for Creepshow and Day of the Dead. Nice. The screenplays were by George A. Romero, adapting a short Stephen King story, and Michael McDowell. What? Why didn't you tell me the camera was over here now? Ah! This should be good. Let's have a look. We open with Betty, not Wilma. And spoilers, in case you want to hear, put your fingers in your ears and la 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 la. She turns out to be a suburban housewife. So Betty, who's a witch, played by Deborah Harry, that senior lady, she is about to cook and eat Timmy. No, not that Timmy. Not that Timmy. Not even Tiny Tim. But this Timmy. He's not a dumb kid. He stalls her by telling 3 horror stories from a book given to him by her. What's the book called? The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Just kidding. It's the title of the film, Tales from the Darkside. What a coincidence. Story 1 is called Lot 249, adapted by the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle short story. We have a graduate student, Edward, played by Steve Buscemi. Yes, that Steve Buscemi.
I'm so buggy I can't.
Who feels like he isn't getting his worth in the world. I mean, kind of makes sense, the poor slop. I mean, look at the guy. And seeks revenge, I guess, for people he's been cheated on by these uppity people. Susan, played by Julianne Moore, and Lee, Robert Sedgwick. Sedgwick. Yeah, I think I'm saying it right. And he gets this awesome sarcophagus that has a, yep, you guess it, Dracula. No, it's a mummy. Durr. Susan's brother, Andy, played by the delightful Christian Slater. So these are our main folks of characters. Some good, mostly Andy, and the other ones kind of not really good people when you think about it. You kind of feel for Edward, but at the same time, damn boy has some horrible, horrible revenge thoughts. That's what happens when you get too much power. So he sends the mummy to do his bidding and, kill people. Since he doesn't want to do it, he has the mummy do it. The mummy kills people. There's some good moments, a couple of scares, very low budget, a couple of funny moments, actually. I love this scene. And with a happy ending? Nah, they all die, basically. But a very good way to start off the film with some scares, some classic Universal monster moments, and an interesting story. Next up we have Cat from Hell. This is the second tale, the one adapted by George A. Romero. Again, never heard of him. From the story, The Cat from Hell, where we have a wheelchair-bound elderly man tormented by one crazy cat. Some sick son of a bitch cat. I mean, movies where the jumps and the cats are always jumping? Ever seen that clip from Community? Backburner, Troy. Always backburner. We gotta find out about this cat. Anyway. Shh. Nerds. Cat is tormenting them. People in his family dying because of this cat. Sure, he looks like a cute little guy. You want to give him a little saucer of milk? Get him to lick you and all that kind of stuff there? Give him pet his pretty little black fur? No, he's a killer. He's gonna kill you. He's some kind of demon cat. He is a cat from hell. And this guy's tormented. And here we have the solution, we hope, a hitman named Holston. And his hit is the cat. He thinks it's crazy, but he's gonna get a lot of dough out of this. And we get this weird little cat and hitman? I don't know if I would call him a mouse. Type battle going on through the whole thing until the very end, spoilers, where the old man dies and so does the hitman. The cat wins. The cat wins in a truly awesome way. I've never seen anything like this. Cool effects. Wow, that cat is up, but he's a survivor. I mean, look at this shit. Damn. And finally, our third story, Lover's Vow. Yes, this is the way you end a horror film, a horror anthology film, with a romance story. Genius! But really, it's really not too bad. It has some of the coolest effects and basically the main monster of the story, and on the cover and everything, which is, by the way, an awesome poster. Based on the Yuki Onna, a spirit or yokai in Japanese folklore, and I know a lot about yokai. She's a little camera shy and she's out right now, but someday you can meet the wife. Preston, a struggling artist, lives in his studio, and then he goes and hangs out with his buddies, money troubles, bars, having a hard time selling his art. He goes to see his bud. His bud gets killed by a gargoyle, brutally decapitated. He witnesses this. He tries to escape. It catches him. He spares his life, but then the monster says, "Cross your heart. I'll let you go if you never reveal what you saw or described what happened to anyone." Then vanishes. He has his oath, but he's still freaked out about it. I mean, who wouldn't be? Seeing your best friend's head go like this, it gets to you. I've seen it more times than I want to see, so I've been kind of immune to it after a while. You know, desensitized and all that stuff there. It's true what they say with television and horror films. But I love them. God, I love them. As he runs through an alley, he meets a beautiful woman and then just grabs her. Grabs this random woman. Shh, don't worry. I'm not gonna hurt you. Well, you know, being a creep and holding her up against the wall. Then say, "Hey, come back to my place." What the f*** is going on in this story? Only in the movies, am I right? Or maybe in, you know, nowadays in other places in the world, but you know how New York and California can be. So yeah, they go back to his place and make love. They do it. Again, what the f***? But this, to me, kind of told me I kind of pieced things together that moment of what was going on in this story. But because of this, his life has improved. His art career, he's successful now. He's in love. She's great. They marry. They have kids. Everything's wonderful. 10 years later, he can't help but tell her. He breaks out and tells her, he confesses why he's found happiness, why everything's so good in his life now. Because of her, he met her. And how? Because of this. And showing those drawings he make, which are drawings of the gargoyle, which is freaky all the time. He tells her this, and son of a bitch, she goes up and says, "I told you not to tell anyone." And you're like, no way! And she transforms back to a gargoyle. The skin, the flesh, ripping off everything. The kid screaming, terrified by all this. Back into the hideous gargoyle form, all upset, kills him, he dies. Her and the children are all gargoyles now. They're sad, crying, heartbroken, love is over, happiness is over. Hey, they had 10 years at least. But still, that's more than most people. Then they return to stone on the building, looking down, sorrow, sadness, the end. What the hell did I just watch here? You end a horror anthology series on a romantic story that seemed weird as first and kind of creepy as fuck, but then turned into a sweet little story, and then you end it like this? Nice. So yeah, it was really cheesy, kind of odd at first, but like I said, the moment I knew she was the gargoyle was when she first appeared, and the way they acted, and went back there and go have sex, because that's normal, right? Or is it? I may be out of touch. This had one of the best, more enjoyable effects. The gargoyle demon looked really cool, and when she ripped the part back to it, mwah, beautiful stuff, tragic little story, very effective. So yeah, it seemed out of place, but at the same time, I think it's the most memorable of the tales, and it worked. If I had to say the weakest one would be the first story. They opened up with the weakest story. The cat one was all sorts of crazy and gory, and then this one, good ending. But by the end, she's about to eat the poor little bastard. Timmy says he has one more story though, with a happy ending, to which, which? She replies, no stories in that book have a happy ending. Timmy, however, narrates his story, causing all sorts of shit for her, and for her to, well, end up in the oven. I told you, smart kid. She's better off not eating him anyway. Kids taste terrible. Not enough meat on them, unless you get those fat kids. But still, don't eat children, I guess is the message of the film. Yeah, that and don't confess your love to some woman, because then she'll kill you. That could be it too. Be aware of cats. Don't trust people with mummies. I don't know. Not quite Creepshow or Tales from the Crypt. Hell, not even quite the Twilight Zone movie. But Tales from the Darkside is a fun and entertaining horror anthology flick with interesting characters and a mix humor and a mix of unique stories. Not too scary, but fun all the same. I give it a big skeletal thumb up. No touch of death for this film. Go check it out if you haven't. May 4th, 1990, 30 years old now. It holds up. Cheesiness at all. But then again, that's why we love these type of films. That's why we love horror. So good. Not a bad little film. So yay, a good film this week. Shocking. Well, I guess that's the end of that for now. Until next time, I am the Grim Reviewer. And, I don't know, I'm gonna go hit on that gargoyle that's outside the house next door. I don't know. Wish me luck. No way to have a wife. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go tell one of my buds over here to go hit on that gargoyle statue across the street. He just might luck out. Let's hope we keep these as good reviews and none of the bad ones we... Later. He's great in wheelchair roles, I tell ya.